Welcome to the Ballers Club. It's your boy BallOrFallBird, the one and only Mr. BallOrFall, the one and only Mr. Do It All, the one and only Mr. Everything Under the Sun will get done because your boy is best beyond. Listen, man, y'all see I'm outside again. That's why I got to go one hand bird. I got the mic in the other hand, but I want to go ahead and get right into today's video. If y'all can hear any background noise, I apologize for that. I just wanted to get out the house for today. But the topic of today's video is we got too used to winning. And I know when I say that, a lot of y'all may look at me kind of crazy. A lot of y'all may be like, what does that even mean? Like, how can we get too used to winning? And I thought about something, and it was pretty much along the lines of a lot of people only fail because they got used to the feeling of what winning was. And what I mean by that is some people get so used to winning. Their life has been so great. And it's not to say having a great life is bad. I'm not saying anything like that. But what I am sitting here saying in this moment is you can't really cherish what winning feels like. You can't really cherish what it feels like to win. Or at least that's my own opinion. That's my own belief. You can't really cherish it if you don't know what it feels like to lose. You don't think about it like we wouldn't enjoy summer days at the beach as much if the winter felt the same as the summer. We wouldn't feel great when the sun is out if we were outside playing all day in the rain. And it's not to say that you didn't play in the rain. It's just saying like, y'all know the sayings of, you don't cherish the sunlight unless you have darkness. And so this kind of falls into that same boat. But when I thought about this to myself, when I was just thinking about how, a lot of people only fail because they get so used to the feeling of what winning was, I think about the fact that, they've won so much that life comes with its twists and turns. Life comes with its bumps and bruises. Like I know I've talked to y'all and made sure that I stated one time in a former video, my favorite football player, Tyrann Mathieu, formerly known as the Honey Badger, played at LSU, all those kind of things. He talked about one time in one of his documentaries, he said, life has to beat you up. And upon my first time hearing that, I was like, why does life got to beat me up? And this was, once I was already in my life and life hadn't already beat me up, but I was just like, well, why can't life just be so great? And then, as I got older, as I started to realize certain things, I'm like, man, just like the saying goes, we wouldn't appreciate the sunlight if we didn't have darkness in our life at some point. So I just think about these things, and it just really makes me want to harp on the fact that we got to make sure that we don't get used to the feeling of winning. We should want to be winners. We should want to be disciplined and everything that comes with being a winner, but we can't get used to the feeling of winning, because when we get used to the feeling of winning, a lot of times that's when complacency creeps in. A lot of times that's when we get stuck, doing the same old tricks. You may have a old trick that works for you, and it's worked for you so many times. And of course, the saying goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But sometimes you have to be able to adapt. So it's not to say don't be able to win. It's more so be a winner, but be adaptable. If I could sum it up into any words of how I would say a solution to all of this, or what I would want y'all to really take from this video is be a winner, have that winning mentality, go into every day expecting to win, because there's a difference between expecting to win but not being able to get rid of the feeling that winning was for you. So if you were always able to do something in this specific manner and now all of a sudden it doesn't work anymore, it's not to say ditch it completely or ditch it right then and there, but some people, they have, and this is me included, it's certain things within my life that have worked so well so many times that now that they don't work anymore, it make my head spin. Now that they don't work anymore, it's like, damn, why all of a sudden this don't work anymore? And it's almost just getting older as you grow older. Your bones don't work the same, your joints don't feel the same when you go out and run and work out and things like that. So I just say all these things, and it makes me really think of all these things, because it's like, at some point, you have to be adaptable. You have to be willing to make a change. But a lot of times, getting used to the specific feeling that winning was in your life, or what got you to that win all the time, we don't know how to change it when we have to change it. And this is something that plays out kind of heavy in my life, where it's like, like, I have to be willing to adapt to the new ways that I have to go about life. I'm not really I'm still active, but I'm not playing football anymore, or at least as of right now. God willing, whatever happens with that happens. But I'm not playing football as of right now. So a lot of the things that I was able to do within the football field, I can't do it just in everyday life. Now, of course, like the mindset, certain, things that I learned from the game of football still, play a key and major role in my life. But I can't just go about my everyday life like an athlete, because as I always say, too much of anything is not good for you. So if I just treat everything like I'm an athlete, if I treat everything like, oh, Bird, you have to be overly disciplined, or, oh, Bird, you have to, do this and do that. I mean, and it's a lot of things that I'm even at odds about. So that's why I really don't want to mention them in the video yet, because I mean, it may come to a point where I kind of tweak it a little bit. But either way, don't get used to what the feeling of winning was in your life. Don't get used to don't get stuck in a box to where only one way works. Don't get stuck in a way that you can't change, or you're not willing to change. So like I said, I just say all these things, and I just think of all these things because, like I said before, like, a lot of people only lose. Like, that's the only reason that they lose. That's the only reason that they're at a loss in their life right now, is because they got so used to what the feeling of winning was in their life. They may have become complacent. I may have, I've become complacent in a lot of situations within my life. Like, I can, just think off the top of my head of times where I just wasn't working as hard, and I didn't have that same hunger. I didn't have that same drive at certain points in my life, whether that had been in football, whether that had just been, going about through life, whether that had been in the classroom and with my academics and stuff, whatever the case may be. Like, like, a lot of people only lose because they get so used to what the feeling of winning was. So, man, for one, if y'all still here at this moment, man, comment a 7 in the comments, man. Y'all know that's my favorite number. That's the number of completion. And, I want us to be complete, man. I want us as a BallOrFall family to, still be able to go into the days with that winning feeling, like expect to win. Still go into the days knowing that, our win is going to come, knowing that, if we put in the right effort, if we put in, the right when I say the right effort, I mean, doing it in the smart way. Because a lot of people can work hard, but if you work hard at, if you work hard running backwards, you're not running as fast as you could. You see what I'm saying? Like, so like, it's ways that we can go about life that either makes it smarter, lighter on us, like delegating things, just all that kind of stuff. So, like I said, man, I just say all these things, man. If you still here, man, comment the number 7 in the comments. Comment BallOrFall in the comments, man. Y'all know us, we a family, man. So I'm ready to go ahead and take this, channel to the next page. So this channel to the next stage. So like I said, man, I appreciate y'all for coming to the Ballers Club today, man. It's your boy BallOrFallBird, the one and only Mr. BallOrFall, the one and only Mr. Do It All, the one and only Mr. Everything Under the Sun Will Get Done, because your boy is best beyond, man. And I'll see you in the next video.